Ukraine has a Republican problem. As first season approaches, 3 out of 5 candidates for presidential candidacy at the GOP clearly day America's support for war-damaged country. During the Wednesday debate, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis rejected President Joe Biden's recent request to provide billions of dollars in funding to Ukraine, and said we have end this war. Meanwhile, technology entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy described Kiev as corrupt and added to frame it as a war of evil with some kind of good. Don't buy it. Both men lag far behind former President Donald Trump, who was once accused of trying to force the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy government to interfere with the 2020 U.S. elections. It does not show a sign that it will leave neither its coldness against Ukraine nor its visible admiration for Russian President Vladimir Putin. The former president, who has repeatedly suggested that Ukraine should offer land concessions Russia to end the war, has rejected Zelenskyy's invitation to visit Ukraine this week. And Kiev is doing so while working so closely with Biden's White House. He suggested that it would be inappropriate. Ukraine faces a tough barracks because its counterattacks failed to achieve the desired advances. This week's turbulence. It emerged in an environment where U.S. support for continued support for Kiev softened and prevented a group of skeptical legislators against Ukraine from trying to finance country in existential war of Congress against Kremlin. Daniel Vajdich, head of Yorktown Solutions and one of Ukraine's leading lobbyists in Washington, D.C., told Newsweek about the GOP's growing opposition to support Ukraine. It needs to be taken seriously. To the question of whether Kiev should develop a new GOP strategy to fight, Vajdich said answer yes. Where the Republicans stop, America's bipartisan support to Ukraine still remains strong after more than 18 months have passed over the war. But this support is considerably lower than Russia's initial wave of fear of the total occupation. According Gallup data, the proportion of Americans who said their country helped Ukraine too much from August 2022 to October 2023 rose from 24% to 41%. The erosion of public support to Kiev is more pronounced on the right. The proportion of Republican voters who believed that U.S. did too much for Ukraine rose from 43% to 62% between August 2022 and October 2023. Among the Democrats, this rate is 9 to 14%. Among independents, it was 28–44%. I think you see this not only among Republicans, but among all voters who are beginning to be more interested in the economy and their own wallets, said Neil Newhouse, co-founder and senior GOP surveyor of public strategies. Senator Mitt Romney and John McCain said no doubt that the change was more pronounced among the Republicans, former chief pollsters of presidential campaigns. The Republican Party has changed largely thanks to Donald Trump.